For those assuming Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets in 2025, well, I've got some news for you. It's time for Boy Green Daily right now.
I'm going to lose my gas-darned bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Yeah, you fucking awesome.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily. It's a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We're live every single bleeping day at 7:30 in the morning. We got a couple of giveaways going on right now on the channel. The first one's free, baby. All you have to do to be eligible is subscribe to the channel. As soon as we reach 7,500 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a free piece of autographed New York Jets memorabilia to one lucky subscriber at complete random. So like I said, as soon as we reach 7,500, so hit that subscribe button. We're trying to chase to 10,000 subscribers, and we have one other giveaway. You have to put in some shekels to be eligible for it. Today is the last day for this contest, baby. You can buy raffle tickets. They're $2.99 a piece. For instance, here's an example. We have a couple of memberships to attend to right now on the program. Again, today is your last chance to get raffle tickets for this contest. We're going to be doing this giveaway tomorrow morning on Boy Green Daily. First off, our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. He just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership, which is a membership to our YouTube channel. It's $2.99 a piece, which equates to one raffle ticket. You get a raffle ticket for every membership you gift, or if you want to put it this way, it's every $2.99 you spend here on the channel. For instance, Super Chats certainly come into play. Super Stickers come into play. All of that is eligible to get you in, so I highly recommend everybody get as many of these raffle tickets as you can while you can, baby. Here are a few more raffle tickets coming in. It's from DNY for Life, a.k.a. Devin, baby. Here's a 5-pack. And let's hit him with it. I haven't heard this one in a while. Boom! 5 more raffle tickets for DNY for Life. We'll update the banner for that in just a second. The membership gifted by Austrian Jet fan went to Nate. Shout out to Nate. Good to see you, pal. There you go. There's a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. And the 5 memberships from DNY for Life, a.k.a. Devin, are going to Carlos Santos, Dom C, Project Prospect. Our guy joins us every Monday, Talking Draft. We'll have him back on Monday to recap the NFL Combine. Packers Game YT, you gained a membership as well. So we got Packers Game YT, Project Prospect with Dom C, Carlos Santos, and I'm sure other memberships will be coming in here shortly to see where those ended up going as well. So beautiful. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And again, this is your last chance. I'm about to throw it up here on the screen so you guys can see what you are bidding for. What are you getting the chance for? We'll do it live tomorrow morning on our Hop on Pop episode. We will be incredibly transparent. All the raffle tickets you get will be put into a wheel, and then we'll spin the wheel, and whoever lands on wins this prize pack. Let's throw it up here on the board. A signature New York Jets football. This is a full-size NFL football with all of these signatures on it. Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, AVT. You can see Quincy Williams on there. Sauce Gardner. Again, wonderful. That's good for the man cave, your office, wherever. A New York Jets Nike Salute to Service long sleeve. Shout out to our troops. And a custom laser engraving package. It's got a bunch of items in the gift bag, which have Boy Green logos and Jets logos all merged together. So a license plate, pens, commemorative coins, and a lot of other cool stuff as well. So if you guys want a chance to win all of these prizes, and one person will win this tomorrow, we'll pick a name from a hat, basically, virtually, and then they will win the football. They will win the Nike Salute to Service long sleeve and the custom laser engraving package. They'll win all that together. And we got some fun other prizes coming in the coming months. So hopefully you guys can jump in on that. So DNY for Life got 5 more. An Austrian Jet fan got himself another. So let's update the leaderboard here. For DNY for Life, which now moved into sole possession of 4th place. Ed Vargas has 20 gifted memberships. DNY for Life is there with 25. Very nice. We love to see it, baby. You love to see it. So thank you, everybody, and keep those coming in. We want to continue to see it. Like I said, that would be absolutely wonderful. I want everyone to have as many opportunities as possible to win a lot of these prizes coming in. If you'd like to hear, when we're about to get into this right now, more on this Tyrod Taylor story, we have a full article in the YouTube description down below, so feel free to click that, and you can read more, read ahead in class of some of the things we're going to be talking about here on the show. Here's the updated scrolling ticker, by the way. Number one Austin Jet fan, 173 raffle tickets this month. Jimmy Jets in second place with 116. For Lillian, Big D in third place with 57. DNY for life in sole possession of fourth place with 25. And Ed Vargas with 20. But obviously, everyone is eligible. The more tickets you have, the better shot you have at winning all of these prizes. But hey, someone one ticket could win. So again, make sure you do it. Philly Noodles, appreciate reading the article this morning. Again, all my articles are available on the Heavy on Jets Facebook page and also on the website. Posted this last night. First, let's go to the footage, and it is this. Connor Hughes, we'll give a shout-out to our NFL insider, Connor Hughes. He also joined Jake Asman, so shout-out to Jake as well. And Connor Hughes asked this question to Aaron Glenn at his press conference, his media availability earlier this week. Is Tyrod Taylor probably is it safe to assume, basically, that Tyrod Taylor is going to be your week one starting quarterback? Here's that question and answer with AG earlier this week.
Well, we can't say that. We haven't had free agency. We haven't had the draft. Listen, Tyrod's a good player. We know that. I think he's won almost 50% of his games. So he's a guy that's been around this league for a long time. So to answer that question, it's hard to because the draft for free agents haven't came yet.
I found that quote very interesting to me because here's the thing. Let's just be honest here. Okay, let's lay all the cards on the table. Here is the Jets quarterback room. I know Aaron Rodgers' body is still technically on it, but obviously the Jets are going to be moving on March 12th when they officially release him. So let's put Aaron Rodgers aside. You have three quarterbacks on the roster. Tyrod Taylor, okay. Jordan Travis, and Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez and Jordan Travis have not thrown a pass in an NFL regular season game. So while they're on the roster, you put them in a separate bucket of expectations. We have no idea what either is going to bring, or if either's even going to be on the roster once we get down to cut 53 time. So Tyrod Taylor, if you were betting today, you were betting right now, of course, he's the favorite to be the starting quarterback because he's the only one on the roster. He's the one that has the most experience. Brian Costello joined me earlier this week and said if he had to lay money on it right now, he'd bet on Tyrod Taylor. The thing I found weird is Connor Hughes is not asking AG if he's got a crystal ball. He's saying based on like what we see, is he going to be your starting quarterback? And AG's like, whoa, free agency, the draft. So I kind of went, wow, that's sort of weird. So that sounds like Tyrod and all the other people were assuming he's going to be the starting quarterback. Well, doesn't sound like it. Sounds like competition is coming in the form of draft free agency. Now, the fact that competition is coming is not surprising at all. Obviously, they need to add more quarterbacks to the room. But the fact that, it's not even a thought at this moment in time is sort of weird. And by the way, I'm not the only one who thinks this. Connor Hughes, who's the one who asked that question we just talked about, did an SNY TV hit after doing the presser. And this is what Connor Hughes added. It's a long clip, so I'll just read this quote for you guys. Quote, yeah, Aaron Glenn made it very clear that the Jets are looking for another quarterback. We asked him if he believes Tyrod Taylor is going to be the quarterback week one of next year. And he said, well, it's basically impossible to say that because we have the draft and we have free agency. Well, if you are set on somebody being your starting quarterback, then you have no problem saying he's going to be your starting quarterback. So it is clear they're going to look to trades, they're going to look toward free agency, and they're going to look toward the draft, end quote. That from Connor Hughes. And I had the same assessment. I'm like, wow, they're not even willing to say right now that he's going to be the starting quarterback? Well, Tyrod Taylor, sir, you've just been put on notice, sir, because it sounds like you could be holding the same role that you've held since 2018, being a backup quarterback, man. Tyrod Taylor, I like a lot. I want to make this clear. I was excited when we got Tyrod Taylor. Now, I was concerned about the injuries. That's why I didn't want Tyrod Taylor initially. I did a video right before free agency. I'll probably try to do another one of these. Top 5 free agents the Jets should avoid. And I put Tyrod Taylor on the list. I'm like, man, the durability concerns. And then what would the money be? And they ended up getting him in. And I explained my take and why, hopefully, it ends up working out, which is how all Jet fans should feel. We should all root for who we want. We all want different free agents, but at the end of the day, we have to accept the fact. So here it is. Let's go to Tyrod Taylor. He's 35. He just completed season number 14 in the NFL, believe it or not. He's appeared in 94 games. He's made 58 starts. And Aaron Glenn, during that quote you just heard in video form, he said Taylor's won about 50% of his games, and that is true. Tyrod Taylor, here's his record as a starting quarterback: 28, 28, and 1 tie in there. But yeah, he's a 500 starter. He's won as many games as he's lost. That's true. So if Coach Glenn is looking for winners, I guess he's won as much as he's lost. So take that for whatever you will. But here's the thing. Tyrod Taylor has not been a full-time starting quarterback in the NFL since 2017. Folks, it's 2025. That was 8 years ago, for God's sakes. We're going back to like Rex Ryan days, for Pete's sake. So since 2018, Tyrod Taylor has been a primary backup and spot starter when injuries or other things have happened. I just feel like if the new regime felt like Tyrod Taylor was a legitimate starting quarterback or legitimately in the conversation, they would have shown some chutzpah, and they seem incredibly lukewarm on that possibility. So it's all going to say a lot. Obviously, if the Jets don't add a significant piece to the quarterback room, then the Jets must be feeling pretty gosh darn good about Tyrod Taylor. Now, if they do, it goes back to everything else. Now, I see Danny in here saying wins are not a quarterback stat. But that is what Aaron Glenn himself was pointing at for what he's looking for. Aaron Glenn said one of the top traits he's looking for is a winner. So winner, wins earned quarterback stat. We could get into that debate, I'm sure. That's on ESPN all the time. But fascinating. Emmanuel says injuries is the reason why Tyrod isn't the starter. That could be true. That injuries are preventing him from getting that. But it's not like he entered all these other seasons as unquestioned guys. When you look at his recent history since 2018, when he was with the Bills, he was his unquestioned starter. And then he wasn't an unquestioned starter ever again. So I don't know if that's an injury thing. Like, injuries are an issue with what's going on with Tyrod. And that's a part of his story. But it's not like he entered 2018, 2019, 2020 as his unquestioned starter, and then he got hurt, and that's how he lost his job. So I think there are other factors to clear in as well here. But yeah, Tyrod as the unquestioned starting quarterback, I don't think so. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the NFL Combine yesterday. I watched the full coverage after Boy Green meets Woody, and then we'll be doing it again. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on with Jake today. We'll see. I'll wait for Jake's text, I suppose. I know he's at the Combine, so his schedules could be off. But so if it is, then today is your last well, either way, today is your last chance to send in raffle tickets for a giveaway. You'll have another live opportunity if I'm on with Jake in the 4 or 5 o'clock range. Or if not, now, and you could still actually do it on other YouTube videos that I have out there. So I try to put another video up, even if it's not live, so you guys have another chance as well to continue to send in any raffle tickets. If you join the Boy Green Coffee Club, I will get a notification for it. So let's keep those cooking, baby. Ward says he's ready to see the tight ends today. Yeah, let me get the full schedule in front of me here so I can tell you guys what we got cooking. Unfortunately, there's a lot of players that dropped out for injury issues or what have you, so that's incredibly disappointing. So here we go. So yesterday we got the defensive linemen and linebackers, which was a lot of fun. It was like a 5-6 hour show on NFL. Today we're let me mute that real quick. Today we're going to get the DBs and the tight ends. So, wow, there should be a lot of talent. And Jet fans, this is a big day for you today because the Jets need 2 starting safeties. They need another starting corner. Tight ends, obviously, their entire room needs work. So today's a big day. And tomorrow's the biggest day of the weekend. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs. It's going to be the biggest day. And the coverage yesterday started at 3 o'clock. Today starts at 3 o'clock. But over the weekend, both of those days of coverage start at 1 o'clock. So tomorrow's a big day. We're going to see all the quarterbacks. Obviously, that's incredibly important for the Jets. Wide receivers, running backs, all that jazz. And then Hog Mollies. Really, every day is important because the Jets need a little bit of everything from all of these groups, to be frank. But I am looking forward to the DBs and the tight ends, too, today. 100%. I heard Tyler Warren, who unfortunately will not be working out. I can't remember his reason for not being able to work out, but he called himself like a John Riggins at tight end. And I'm like, oh, baby, for the number 44 he wears. So great. Yeah, but we need tight ends, man. We absolutely need tight ends. J-Boy, I hope you're right. How many ways can he say we're all in on Sam without saying we're all in on Sam? I hope the Jets are all in on Sam. That'd be great. Again, I hope he's an option. That'd be terrific. I love Sam. Love to bring him home. Take me home. where I belong. West Virginia. Yeah, come on home, Sammy. Let me see this. So I see from Bo. I wanted to bring this up because I heard a lot of Jets people talk about it on social media. So Mason Graham did not work out yesterday. He had some issue of why he couldn't. But a lot of people were questioning the Mason Graham measurables because he's sub 300 pounds and he has short arms. I would just say this: the thing I do hate about college is they soup up the height and weight. Like, so just like the Jets on their, they have a roster sheet. You could Google New York Jets roster and you can see the heights and weights of all the players. Colleges have that too. And colleges routinely lie and fudge the numbers. But Mason Graham's numbers were pretty fudged. It was a 25-pound difference. He was listed on the Michigan website, I believe, at 320 pounds. He weighed in at the combine at 296. Now, it's possible his weight fluctuated in some way. Like, some people gain a lot of weight for the combine and some people lose weight. But normally you lose weight if you're like 380 and you're like, let me get down a little. It's not normally like you're in the 320 range and get down to 296. So we'll have to, I don't know if Mason spoke about that at the podium, but yeah, a lot of people are saying they no longer want to take Mason Graham, some fans on social media, because Mason Graham is sub 300 and he's got short arms. So we'll have a draft analyst on the show soon in reaction. Well, I mean, we'll have Dom C on Monday. I'll be curious, although I don't want to put words in Dom C's mouth. I'll ask Dom on Monday about it, but we'll also have other draft analysts. I'm kind of curious about that. I would still love Mason Graham. Hey, that Aaron Donald guy didn't meet those measurables, and he was pretty good. Now, again, he's an outlier, but I really like Mason Graham a lot. So, Taylor Sterling. Rapp running to NFL security is crazy. What a loser. Oh, boy. Everyone's picking sides on this business. Alan says, I didn't realize Schultz's dad was the CEO at Starbucks. Yeah, I did not realize it was not either until I read the report. So that's crazy. Let's go back to Taylor here. Tyrod is a great measuring stick. If our free agent or rookie quarterback can beat him out in camp, they earned it. Yeah, I think Tyrod is a fine guy. He's not going to embarrass you. I think he's a professional. I think I don't think he's going to rev a lot of engines. If Tyrod Taylor's on the front of the Jets yearbook, I don't think everyone's going to be like, "Woo, Tyrod time, Ty God." Maybe we'll work our way up to that, I guess. But you never know with the season. But yeah, he's a solid guy. Now let's see what else they add to the room. They need to add more to the room. There's no question about it. Matthias on the Cooper Rush train. My father's on the Cooper Rush train. Cooper Rush is a fine fella. He's going to be dirt cheap, I would imagine. So if that's a big thing for you guys in spending, then that's fine too. I love this from Cup of Philly Noodles here because I think there are two schools of thought. So Philly Noodles says this for our audio-only listeners. He comments it on YouTube. With how deep this defensive tackle class is, as predicted, mid-college season, there's no reason to draft Mason Graham at 7. That is entirely too rich. I think, again, there are two ways to think about it. The same thing. Let's go to Ashton Genty, right? He's a polarizing figure. A lot of people say he's RB1. But people say, well, the class is deep. So why get Genty at 1 if I could get value later? Well, while that's true, and you can make a strong argument for that, I think you can make a strong argument to say, sure, it's deep, but is RB7 Ashton Genty? No. Defensive tackle's deep. Is defensive tackle 7 Mason Graham? Probably not. So I think that's the conversation you have to make too, is what are you willing to settle for? Not everyone can be an all-pro on your roster. You have to pick and choose where you invest your top-flight resources into. But it might be a moot point because Mason Graham might not even be on the board for the Jets at 7. He might go to Jacksonville at 5, which has been a very popular mock draft pick. Look at this, Outtrain Jet fan gifting another membership, baby. It sounds like they're going to be raining today on the final day of business. We got 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe, baby. Booyah! Another raffle ticket for our number one Austrian Jet fan for our giveaway that we're doing live tomorrow morning on Boy Green Daily. Shout out to Hop on Pop, baby. Yeah. This membership went to, who knows, because YouTube is out. Oh, that's unfortunate. So YouTube is out, so I can't read whoever that member is. But whoever you are, congratulations, and make sure you thank our number one Austrian Jet fan. Yeah, YouTube sometimes has problems where I can no longer read who ends up winning memberships, which I hate. I hope YouTube fixes that. 174 raffle tickets is where we're at for our number one Austrian Jet fan. So congratulations, Austrian, and whoever got that membership. God bless. Beautiful. Dixon saying Sam is a system quarterback. I don't know about all that. I'm not sure about all that. Jared says, Paul, according to your pops, your numbers were inflated in high school. What the hell? Hey, now, that's not nice. That's not nice. I really appreciate my high school football career. And in terms of what am I talking about? Again, I just feel like defensive tackle 1, let's call it Mason Graham. Okay. And you could get Alfred Collins, the Texas guy, right? Like, different defensive tackles have different traits. Like, Alfred seems like this run stuffer, and Mason Graham seems like this penetrating defensive tackle that can create havoc. Not every defensive tackle is the perfect prospect and can be a great run stuffer, great pass rusher, great everything. But when you look at the analytics and the PFF numbers and stuff like that, again, when you talk about a positional group being deep, I agree, Philly, that there is a case to be made. It's not the only case, but there's a case to be made that you could say, hey, man, one positional group is deep. I can wait and still get something. I'm not going to be left with nothing. Again, I think there's a case to be made. I also think there's a case to be made is that, okay, if this is deep and this is the best guy of a deep group, and I think the gap between defensive tackle 1 and defensive tackle 2 is significant, that I want defensive tackle 1 even despite the entire positional group being deep. Now, the Jets may be compelled to get multiple defensive tackles in this class throughout the whole draft, and hey, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. Get different guys if you want. It's a good group, and the Jets need multiple defensive tackles anyway, so you could go in there. Oh yeah, Shamar Stewart. Oh boy, he lit. Talk about NFL Combine warrior. The Vert. Oh boy, there are some numbers here for Shamar Stewart. Yeah, Will Parkinson says he's in play at 7 for the Jets. Wow. Okay, that's unbelievable. So, hey, let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think we should get a vet and a rookie quarterback. So just throw that out in the universe. June the GM says, love Pops, but I don't want no damn Cooper stinking Rush. Yeah, again, if Cooper, Rush, and Tyrod Taylor are on the front of the Jets yearbook, are we all getting jazzed? Not sure. Let's keep going here on the comments, and then we'll open up the phone lines here in just a few minutes. I'll be hosting the radio show solo today. We'll be talking some NFL Combine, some Jets, so you guys can feel free to hop on over there. Philly Noodle says, Cooper Rush is almost the same as Tyrod. The only thing I would say for Cooper that I don't believe he's had is I don't think he's had any injury issues for Cooper. So Tyrod's had injury issues, Cooper hasn't. But, so take that for what you will. Bo asked, would Warren be worth the 7th overall pick? Give our quarterback a short yardage weapon. I think I'll put it this way. I'm not going to be upset if the Jets take Tyler Warren with the 7th overall pick. It seems like he could contribute as an inline blocker, which should improve pass protection in the run game. Great. Sounds like, by all accounts, especially watching the college football playoff, he's a weapon of mass destruction. He is not afraid of contact. He's like seeking it out like a missile. So, yeah, Tyler Warren would be a lot of fun. Now, again, there's always going to be fans that just say tight end position, 7th overall. They're going to be unwilling to do it. In a perfect world, and we did this, I think, Domsey didn't pull the trigger on this, but he could have. In our last mock draft, we did a pre-combine Jets 4-round mock draft. On Monday, we'll do a post-combine 4-round mock draft based on new risers, fallers, all that sort of stuff. We traded back from 7 to like 12, 13, 14, wherever it was. And Tyler Warren was still on the board, and we picked up a 2nd-round pick. I don't mind that at all. You slide back a little, you pick up an additional second, so you have 2 seconds, and then you get Tyler Warren still on the 1st. That's a very compelling case. That's going to be very high on my list if that's a possibility. Also, I'm hearing all the Stafford rumors. We'll see. Apparently, the rumors are that the Matthew Stafford and the Raiders have reached not an agreement, but they've reached like, hey, This is sort of what the contract would look like. And now, if that's true, then the Raiders turn to the Rams and say, okay, now let's figure out compensation. Now, if the Raiders take Matthew Stafford via trade, or the Giants for that matter, either way, that could impact the Jets, because if they take those guys, I don't think the 3rd or 6th overall pick is going to be in the mix in the trade back, but that may change your quarterback conversation. Are they still taking a quarterback 3 or 6 if they get Stafford? Maybe not. So that could be up for conversation too. So there will be ripple effects from that. That's for sure. Philly Noodle says, "Run that clip, Paul." All right. Anytime we could get the, I guess, Taekwondo clip going. Here you go. Here you go. Feed the animals. Booyah. So there you go. Some booyah for Philly Noodles for my Taekwondo career. Booyah. Yeah, run the clip. There you go. I was very impressed. By the way, speaking of guys, this is one of Dom C's crushes, Jihad Campbell, yesterday. Woo-wee! Jihad Campbell looks pretty gosh darn good. That's not a 7th overall. Yeah, Campbell had a good workout. A lot of people were saying Jihad Campbell. That's not 7th overall, but boy, if he's there at 42, off-ball linebacker, Jihad Campbell could also rush the passer too. Maybe a potential trade up from 42. I don't know where the off-ball linebackers are going to go. That would be a lot of fun. J-Boy says, the moment the Jets show Sam the offer, he'll be running back to New York. He'll get a top 10 quarterback money from the Jets. Well, let's see. Let me double check this. What's the highest paid quarterbacks in football? I'm not sure if we're going to get that high, but let's see. All right. Let's see where the top 10 line is. So let me make sure I do my math here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe. So the top 10 quarterbacks in football are making $46 million per year or more. That line is with Deshaun Watson at 46 and Dak to 60. So I don't think Sam gets quite that high. I think it's going to be somewhere between 35 and 45. So we're sort of in that range. So I'm not sure if it's going to be top 10, but it'll be close, relatively speaking. It's going to be good money for Sam. Yeah, it's going to be good money for Sam. Dakota says he wouldn't mind McMillan at 7. There are conflicting opinions on Tet McMillan. Matt Miller, who joined the Jets live show from the Combine a couple of days ago, said he wouldn't take Tet McMillan until the middle to late part of the first round because his inability to separate. He's a big dude, but he can't separate. And he said basically like he doesn't compare at all to the star-studded wide receiver class we just had. So that's sort of interesting. But there's been others. Connor and Trevor have mentioned reasons why it'd be a good fit. A lot of trade back fans. Again, you need 2 to tango for trade back. So let's go. We got John here on YouTube. Darius Hayward-Bay and John Ross were 40-yard dash studs who went way higher and busted in the NFL. Golster was elite at the NFL Combine. Look what happened. McMillan, I like to see his 40 time, though, because of his size. I think you could tell a lot of stories. So what you say is true. Darius Hayward-Bay, the first wide receiver taken in that class, surprisingly, because a lot of people thought it'd be Michael Crabtree. John Ross was a top 10 pick, correct? Vernon Golster, Combine Warrior, was terrible. Excuse me. I guess I'm allergic to Combine Warriors. And hopefully the Jets don't take any. But no, sometimes there's a Combine Warrior that's good. Like the tape is good, and then the Combine just confirms the greatness from the tape. So we've seen that too, historically speaking. For instance, DK Metcalf. He had an insane Combine, but still, he was a non-first-round pick. And his Combine was awesome, and DK ended up being awesome. So not everyone who's awesome at the Combine sucks, but there are Combine Warriors where their stock dramatically changes based on, the Underwear Olympics. And you have to be careful for that. Hennessy says we're definitely drafting a linebacker. There is no question we're drafting a linebacker. We're probably signing one too, but we're definitely drafting one because C.J. Mosley is going to retire or get cut. Quincy's in the last year of his deal, and Jamie Sherwood, is he coming back or not? He's about to hit the open market. And I asked Brian Costello straight up, are they going to let him test the market? Or they're going to prevent that. He said that's a good question, and I'm not sure. So we're definitely drafting the linebacker now. Is it Jahad Campbell or not? I don't know. We'll see. Ricky New York saying that's my crush too on Jahad Campbell. Really talented player. Yeah, very versatile. It'll be interesting to see how he's used at the NFL level. Hennessy says we're drafting a linebacker, tight end, safety, defensive tackle. Also, I would imagine we're drafting a right tackle for sure at some point during this draft. He may not be the week one starter, but they're drafting one for sure for developmental reasons. We're drafting a wide receiver. Got to throw that in there. That's going to be in the mix. Probably a quarterback with one of their picks. Is it high? Is it low? I don't know. We'll see. So quarterback, wide receiver, right tackle for sure. It might even be other swing offensive linemen on the roster. Defensive tackle, you got to put in there what you have. Linebacker. What else am I missing? Corner. Keep an eye out for corner. Corner could certainly be a possibility. We're missing our CB. Geez, I can't speak. Our CB2, DJ Reed's gone. Our CB4, which is Brandon Eccles. Is he coming back? Like, there's a lot left unknown. Yeah. Alan says, question is whether Jahad Campbell plays a Mike or Sam at the next level or as an edge rusher. Again, some people are projecting him as that, Alan, so it could just be straight up hand in the dirt, or it could be stand-up pass rusher. There's, again, a lot left to be decided there. NC Green, am I suggesting to take Campbell at 7? Absolutely not. I would not. No. I would not take Jahad Campbell at 7. I would be either, again, one of these two scenarios. You trade back from 7 to, like, significant and maybe get a future first-round pick. If you trade back from, like, 7 to, like, 20 or 18, 20, you want to really go back? Again, that's sort of dangerous when you go back that far. Or take whoever you want at 7 and then trade up from 42 and maybe try to get Jahad in that 25-ish range. That'd be nice. Again, there's a lot of bingo being played there. Yes, and I'm talking about Jahad Campbell, not Will Campbell. That's correct. The offensive lineman. DNY for life. We get a super chat member shout out from our boy Devin here. He's been a member for 7 months. We love it. Every time we get a super chat or member shout out, Zariah Luna, my daughter, speaks.
Wow.
I love Tex McMillan. He can ball, baby. Yeah, he's a Tet McMillan guy. All right. He looks like a big guy. He on paper, he compliments Garrett Wilson really well. You know, the lack of separation is sort of concerning, but they said that about Drake London too, and Drake London looks like he's doing okay. Coming off the best year of his career, 100 catches, 1,200 yards, and 9 tutties. Looks pretty good. Let's go to Sluggo. Morning, Paul. Question, does Sling and Sammy want to play in New York again? And that's the ultimate question, Sluggo. We just did a top 5 thing for Boy Green Meets Woody a couple weeks ago where they said, hey, who are your top 5 options realistically, right? Not Patrick Mahomes. Who are your top 5 realistic options? And we'll debate realism here. But my top 2 options were Matthew Stafford, and I don't think that's happening for a variety of reasons now that more information has been bestowed upon us, or Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was my number 1 option. He seems like the perfect guy at the perfect time for the Jets. He's 27. I think I love what I saw in Minnesota. And I know everyone's going to say no Kevin O'Connell anymore, no Justin Jefferson, no all that. But look at the length of the season and the numbers Sam Darnold put up. That's not all on Kevin O'Connell. He didn't just turn Sam Darnold from chicken shit to chicken salad here. I think Sam has made some massive improvements since the last time we saw him. So I would love to have Sam back. What does he want to come back? I think that is totally up for play. Who knows? I hope so. I hope he would have an open mind going into free agency and evaluating all the options, because I'm just going to say this. It's going to come off arrogant, but whatever, man. There is no better situation out there than what the New York Jets have. They have 4 of their 5 offensive line stars under contract. They got Garrett Wilson. They got Breece Hall. Now, Tanner Engstrand is a mystery, but he comes from the Lions, man. That looks pretty good. If I'm Sam Darnold, I'm evaluating who is giving me the best offense to work with of all the teams. Now, Minnesota's an option of going back, but you know that you're on borrowed time. You're not going to hold J.J. McCarthy off forever. Eventually, he's coming for your job. Now, you look at the other options. I go to the Raiders. I'm like, that team sucks. No, thank you. Just because Tom Brady is a minority owner, that doesn't change the equation for me. I don't know why all this on the Raiders is this attractive thing. You look at the Jets, again, offensive line, running back. He's got protection and playmakers, something Joe Douglas promised him and lied. Now he's got it with the Jets if he comes over here. I think the Jets are the best situation possible for Sam Darnold. And if you disagree, I'd love for you in a few minutes when I open up the phone lines, call in and tell me which situation is better. And guess what? The calls are going to be short because there isn't. There is no team that's available that's looking for a quarterback that is better than what the Jets are offering. So, hey now. Just want to put that out in the universe. I love number one Austin Jet fan is on this Eddie Pinheiro train of bringing him out. I like that. Hennessy Heisman, will CB2 be a rookie? I think it'll either be a rookie or it's going to be like Quantez Stiggers or something. I think the Jets are going cheapo at corner 2. They have Sauce. They're about to pay him the bag. Michael Carter II already got the bag. And you have to have asset allocation. Every position of need on the team for the Jets, wide receiver, tight end, right tackle, defensive tackle, linebacker, safeties, corner. Everyone can't be the highest paid or some big money investment. At some point, you're going to have to pick and make decisions. To me, I think corner is where the Jets make decisions. I'll go like, hey, maybe we re-sign Brandon Eccles, and Brandon Eccles, Quantez Stiggers, and a rookie battle it out for quarterback 2. Maybe that happens. I don't know, but I think they're going cheapo. I think it's going to be like Quantez. I think it's going to be like a low-cost veteran. Again, Ifeatu Melifonwu has played corner and safety at his time in Syracuse. Maybe he's a guy to look at, available in that secondary somewhere. I think it is going to be a youngin', if I put it that way. Philly Noodles, how mad could we all get if they shock us and draft Dart at 7? That would stun me. Mad. I'm not sure what the emotion would be because I have to be in the moment. And, well, you guys can all see the moment because it will be live streaming when the Jets make that pick. I'm doing a show with Connor Long. And by the way, I'm getting together I already had a lot of names that were going to join us. Folks, I got some fun-ass names. I can't wait to announce them to you. Of some Jets legends, perhaps, joining the show. Former players, current players, analysts. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a 5-hour show on Thursday night, April 24th. And I'm going to be live streaming at the same time with Connor Long. We're going to be cross-streaming on both of our channels. And we're having some awesome players that are joining us on the show to tell draft day stories and all this other stuff. It's going to be so cool. So I am super pumped up for that. So you will see my reaction live, I suppose. But if the Jets believe that Dart's the guy, or Shadur Sanders, or whoever, Kyle McCord, my boy, whoever it is, if you believe he's the guy, I have to go, okay, Jets, let's ride, baby. Now, 7 will be a little aggressive for Dart based on all the information I have at my fingertips, but War Dart Enthusiast says, like Carlton Davis for corner, he's going to be expensive. His projected money is in the $15-16 million range per year. That's pretty expensive. Let me just double check if I missed anything else here, and then we're going to open up the phone lines here in a second. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Okay, beautiful. Here is what we're doing. We're going to open up the phone lines next. If you'd like to call into the show, now's the time to do so. We have 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Again, when we get to 7,500 subscribers, we are giving away an autographed piece of New York Jets memorabilia for free. You don't even have to pay for shipping, people. I'm going to pay for that. So it is absolutely unequivocally free as soon as we reach, like I said, 7,500 subscribers. And we are exactly 50 subscribers away. I wanted to double check that. We are right now live 50 subscribers away from giving away a free piece of autographed New York Jets memorabilia. So subscribe to the channel. Get your friends and family to subscribe. As soon as we get there, all you guys that are subscribed to the channel will be eligible to potentially win that prize. But the phone lines are about to be open on youtube.com/BoydGreen25. You have some thoughts on this Tyrod Taylor thing. You have a better team to tell me in free agency looking for a quarterback that's a better situation than the Jets. Good luck. Feel free. We're opening up the phones next right here on Boyd Green Daily.
Boyd Green Daily, Boyd Green Daily, Boyd Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boyd Green Daily, Boyd Green Daily, Boyd Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boyd Green. Jets.
Come on, baby. Hep is the best in the business. We love Hep. Hep's a legend. You guys can call into the show right now. That's youtube.com/BoydGreen25. For those who don't know, we stream this show every single morning live on 3 different social media portals: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're on YouTube, it's easy to see the call-in link because you're already on YouTube. But if you're on Facebook or Twitter, you need to hop on over to YouTube to be able to call into the show. If you'd like to call into the show, feel free to do so. Take full advantage. We get new callers all the time. We also have callers that are tried and true, originals, OGs. So feel free to do so, baby, here on the program. Let's go. We've got a cup of Philly noodles kicking us off.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Not much. Listen, before you commented about something I said, I was wondering what you guys were talking about with that rap thing and Schultz. That's what I meant. I was like,
yeah, the Starbucks. Oh my! I still can't believe. I cannot believe that happened. Unbelievable.
I don't know what that was about. So I mean, I'll figure it out. I'll Google some stuff.
Oh yeah. Do what you have down there. Great googly moogly. Yeah. Go ahead.
Googly moogly.
Yeah. Make sure you Google it. Oh my God, it's a hilarious, crazy ass story. So make sure you check it out. It's all in this Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Montana retreat thing, and it's an insider war of someone saying what they thought happened, another insider saying that didn't fucking happen, and he goes, "What the fuck?" And then they're going back and forth, and then they meet up at a Starbucks. Oh my God, it is hilarious. So yeah, make sure you check it out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone's got their reservations, right? What quarterback you think? I'm not going to talk about Daniel Dimes out here right now. Chef Gilbert's going to murder me one day.
That's true.
Just put me in a soup or something. I mean, yeah. Listen, Cooper Rush, that's hilarious. You know what I mean? Yes, he's not injured, but it's just another consummate, some type of professional you can put in there. If you already have Tyrod, don't bring that in. It's all about upside, right?
Correct.
You can't bring someone with upside. If you don't go get Fields, if you don't go get Darnold, if you don't go get some guy with upside, then there's no point of doing it. I mean, if I wanted a professional that has recently done some backup work that was halfway good, I'd go and get the kid from the Bengals.
Oh, Jake Browning.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
I like what you're saying about the diversity, basically, because Tyrod. I'm sure this is going to be breaking news. He is not the Jets franchise quarterback. He knows that. We know that, right? Cooper Rush, right? Cooper Rush, if he's brought in, we know he's not the franchise quarterback. He knows that. We know that. Justin Fields, well, it's probably incredibly unlikely that he just transforms into it, but it's possible. It's within the realm of possibilities that something clicks. It's the Jets. It's Garrett Wilson. It's all together, and all of a sudden we see the best Justin Fields version we've ever seen. That's within the realm of possibility. So I agree with you. If you're doing, dart throws, and hopefully pun not intended, when you're talking about the quarterback room, you're putting guys in. Having Tyrod, who's just steadying presence, that won't embarrass you. He's a professional. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Justin Fields has the upside of maybe being the guy. If he can't beat out Justin Fields, that probably answers your own question anyway. And then the draft is the draft. We can all make crazy takes about whoever the guy is. But I agree with that mind process. Don't add the same guys at QB 1, 2, and 3. I feel like while your floor is whatever, we shouldn't be shooting for floor. If you want to win a Super Bowl, if you want to do all these things, it's all about the ceiling and trying to develop. Yes.
So, I mean, I think Aaron Glenn, let's remember something. This guy's about that Bill Parcells way.
Yes.
Anybody who did not perform at the combine is probably not going to join our team unless it's a polarizing pick that you have to. I already smell the blood in the water, right? He is not going to be in the room. Oh, yeah, you mean the guy who didn't show up to work that day? I don't want that. Game over. I'm from Texas. Rattlesnakes. It's not happening, bro. We're built for this shit. They're not built for it if they're not going to the combine.
He made a few comments about that on the Jets live show. They were asking him about his story, but it's almost like if you dig deeper, you can see what he's saying. He talked about him competing at the combine and other people competing around him, and he told stories about I don't know why this guy. And I'm sort of paraphrasing, but I don't know why this guy was a chicken shit and didn't run the 40. But again, he was talking about current players, but he was talking about back then. But how could he not have the same mentality? If he thought that for his peers, he would, of course, think that for this. So I think some of that is going to be part of the evaluation. Whether people think that's fair or unfair, when you pull out, you're like, kind compete. That doesn't look like
Yeah.
competing. That
Yeah.
that would be a factor.
Yeah, you ain't running in the combine. I doubt you're getting drafted by us this year. So, like, to me, that could take Tyler Warren right out of there. It's a deep tight end draft. If you got to draft one that can catch and one that can block, you do it.
Did you hear on Warren? Was it an injury? What's the reason he's not? I missed it.
No, I don't know. I think it could have been something like that. Yeah, and then there was another guy. I don't know if it was a D tackle or a linebacker, but one of them supposedly he wasn't going because of surgery, some possible surgery. So I mean, I don't know, man. Listen, anyone who doesn't perform is probably not getting drafted by us unless it's a full outlier where you're like, okay, it had to happen, so it is what it is. But so I mean, the only two things I think that would shock our Jets fandom would be Jackson, any quarterback at 7.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
A period in the story, or O-line at 7. Because, why are we double down? Well, trenches, right? If the D tackle class is that deep, if you can get whatever tackle that's high priority, if you do it, you solidify something in there. It is what it is. Because we don't know if we're bringing back Morgan Moses. I would like to. We don't know. So I think that's up.
I think there's a few shocks, though. So, like, here's just a couple. If they happen, it's going to create a very interesting reaction. Ashton Genty at 7, 100%. You just said it. Any quarterback, because, again, people love and hate everybody. So, any quarterback. Like basically the Will McDonald year, we're like, what the fuck? Will McDonald? Like, that wasn't on the radar. So, like, Jahad Campbell, maybe for lack of a better name, but the sort of type that, like, to everyone else is a surprise. Like, we're all mock drafting everything under the sun, and the one thing we don't mock draft, I haven't seen a lot of people do Jahad Campbell at 7. That's the way we're like, what the? Or Malachi Starks, they go safety at 7 after all the Jamal Adams stuff. You're like, oh boy.
I mean, Jamal was great though. That's the sample.
He was an all-pro
mentality, right. And now
our taste in the mouth, bad. I guess. Yeah.
I mean, Connor Rogers, he don't want to talk about all that. Or whatever. But I would say the only other person like who hurt his stock to me, I thought Walker would have been an option for us at 7. He did not perform. He decided not to.
And Jalen Walker, you're talking about.
Walker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think he's not a play at 7 now, just for that. And he could have been a steal, but I'll let you get to the other callers. Boy Green, love the clip. Keep it going, baby.
Hey, there we go. Philly Noodles, baby. Here, I'll give you another one here. Let's see if we have it available here. Some more Taekwondo for you. Yeah, there you go. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that revs the engine every time, baby. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, a lot of those. There's a lot of names to consider for the Jets. We'll see what continues to happen. By the way, real quick on Jalen Walker, last night on the Combine, so I'm watching all the coverage, and I will all week. Daniel Jeremiah compared Jalen Walker to Hassan Reddick, Jets legend Hassan Reddick, by all the numbers, like measurables, all this stuff coming out of the draft, like height, weight, 40 time, and all that crazy stuff. And I was just like, ugh. Like seeing Hassan, like, because I saw a Jet on the screen, and I'm like, what the? Who the hell is that? And I had to go like, oh, Hassan Reddick. Oh, I barely saw you, pal. So that was jarring to get some Hassan Reddick on the screen. Jets legend Hassan Reddick. What is going on? Who knows? All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. We got Ricky New York here on the program, baby. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
Hey, excellent.
The guy that had all the same numbers as Reddick, I hope IQ wasn't one of those numbers.
I'm not sure if that was on the screen for Jalen Walker. We should only hope not. Yeah.
Right. You know, I kind of have to push back a little bit. I get what Philly Noodles is saying, but at the same time, I think that Aaron Glenn also realizes that, you know, the kids these days are different than you know, True. Maybe when he was working Combine. And the thing is in addition to the names that he named, all the Michigan guys, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Will Johnson, none of them are doing anything at the Combine. They're all waiting for their pro day. So, I mean, you could say that, but you're not going to take yourself out of the running, for half of the blue chip players that there are at 7 just because of this. So yeah, I tend to think that, we'll have people at the pro days, and
Of course.
as long as the guys take care of their business, I don't think anybody is out of play or should be.
No, I don't think it immediately rules out anyone. Again, so if that's where Philly's swimming, I disagree. I think it'll be a part of the evaluation. Of course, this is anything. Everything you do is a part of the. If you, got in a fight with your teacher in 3rd grade, those security people look that up somewhere. So I guess it's all part of the picture. But yeah, I hope AG has the right temperament, that he understands the old school way, he understands the new school way, and he marries it together. And obviously, it looks like he's done a pretty good job of that in Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely. And shoot, my problem isn't who do we take? My problem is there's more guys that I like than we have
Picks we have. Yeah, right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And just like the clip that I sent you when they were talking about Azariah Thomas, and it's like, the thing is 7 is too rich for him, but he ain't going to be there at 42. He's going to go in the 20s somewhere, and we don't have a pick in that range. And so I don't think that he would be in play for us. I'm kind of excited to see what we do with that pick, though. Yesterday, I asked the question to Alex, the guy from Hail Mary Sports.
Yeah.
He was doing a combine thing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, I was like, I know he doesn't like a lot of guys don't like to do pro comps for these guys,
right?
When they're coming out. And I was like, it's not, maybe I'm cheating. It's not so much of a pro comp as this year's rookie class versus last year's rookie class.
Mm-hmm.
I keep, trying to somewhat talk myself into Mason Graham, and I'm like, and so I asked him, I was like, is Mason Graham this year's Braden Fisk? Like, and he was like, well, big white guy, nonstop motor. I mean, the similarities are definitely there. And like, after he thought about it for a minute, he was like, yeah, he was like, I can see that. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm on board with that now. Cause like, dude, that's all I can think of. A faster shuttle time than Aaron Donald ran the fastest 40 of anyone last year. And if it wasn't for his teammate, both college and pros, getting the defensive rookie of the year, I wouldn't have been shocked if he would have got it. I'll tell you what, that fumble recovery that Verse picked up and ran for the touchdown.
Against Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's what sealed that deal for him. But prior to that play happening, I would have thought that Fisk would have been the odds-on favorite to be defensive rookie of the year. I mean, rookie defensive tackle, and you come away with like 9.5 sacks. Like, that's not too shabby.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm looking forward to some more good stuff. Like, I knew Jahad Campbell was going to be a beast. Nick Eamon that there's a couple of guys coming up that in the safety group that I really want to see that are probably going to be freaks as well. And that's a department that we need help in. So looking forward to that.
Fingers crossed. I can't wait. Today's going to be a great day, Ricky. A great day at the NFL Combine. We got a YouTube super chat coming in from Gilbert Gonzalez, baby. Let's hear it. I haven't heard my daughter's voice in a little bit, so.
Wow.
Gilbert Gonzalez says the #1 Jets show. Just saying. I appreciate you saying that, Gilbert. And by the way, we put down your $1.99. You are $1 away from getting a raffle ticket to our giveaway tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Today is the last day that all of you guys can submit in your super chats and memberships, at least for this contest specifically. So, folks, make sure you get that in before the end of today's show. We'll be on for a few more minutes here. So continue to get those in. And, of course, you can send those in even when I'm not on the air. We'll be adding those up as well. So feel free. But Gilbert, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. I take a lot of great pride in my show. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go back to the phone lines. We've got BG here on the show. What's up, BG? Or not. Okay. Sorry, BG. We had a little cold turkey action there. Let's go to our next caller, June the GM.
Hey, Paul, man, if people ain't showing, aside from HEP, if you ain't showing your face, you shouldn't get no screen time, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's the Jets show, man. We like to show who we are over here. We don't have.
Okay.
By the way, I'm very happy with my Boomer Sooner hat today because I don't know if you know, are you familiar with John Mateer?
Oh, whoa. I thought you were going to say something else. Well, let me say this for Oklahoma, just because you brought this up. I want to give you a hearty congratulations, because this news came through the docket of Jim Nagy, the executive director of the Reese's Senior Bowl, coming over as the new GM. I've known Jim for a long time. I texted him when he was up for the Jets job, and I said I was rooting for him. And even if he didn't get the GM job, I said, I hope he gets another part in the Jets front office. So we went a little back and forth about that. And then I saw that news, and I knew that Jim would not leave the Senior Bowl unless it was something he truly believed in, and he would move his family for and all that jazz. And obviously that's something. So you guys got a hell of a guy in Jim Nagy. What a get. And I think that says a lot about where Oklahoma football is, to be able to get a cat of that bag. I know you apparently have other stuff to say about Oklahoma, but just a cat of that bag to get him, that says a whole heck of a lot. So congratulations.
Let me tell you this. Yeah. There's a quarterback that we got from a transfer from Washington named John Mateer, right?
Okay.
This dude is nasty. Jet fans, if you have it, because you hear all the other names about next year's draft.
Yeah.
Check this kid out. Dual threat. Got the cannon for an arm. Mm-hmm. And the kid is I feel that he can help us to contend at least for a playoff berth with the defense we had last year.
Oh, wow.
He came over with the offensive coordinator as well, brought him along to Oklahoma. So I'm excited because we've been a little down since Lincoln, stabbed us in our back for USC. I've been suffering. That was really bad. But about Glenn, I think it was one thing all us intellectual Jet fans know is that we don't know nothing. Like he's not Salah. He's not going to say some dumb stuff.
Probably not. Yeah.
The Tyrod Taylor question. Hey, what are you talking to me about starting quarterbacks? Ain't nothing start yet.
Yeah.
He just got here. He probably didn't even put his other recliner in the office yet to help him think when So we don't know. We know who we like. We know who we would like to get drafted. I'm not a fan of any player who I've never been a fan of a player that doesn't have the stats in college but could potentially be. No, I don't like that. I like to see productivity. Like I like to see a player who got busy in college. Now I keep hearing this thing about trading Hall and maybe we grab Genty. Listen, Saquon Barkley taught us all: don't give up too early on the running back.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hall, I know he's had some down years. How would you like to pad up with the offensive lines that just been putting out these last couple of years and think you can do anything? Okay, so let's stop. He's still a dual threat running back, can catch out the backfield, can run. Did he run hesitantly? Yeah, I don't know if something's still up with his knee.
Still not sure. Yeah,
we don't know, but it don't hurt to just let him play out the contract. If he has an amazing season, great. We can't sign him. Hey, it's all right. We got a good season out of him. But I don't want to trade him for no third rounder, fifth rounder. I don't want to trade Hall. He's one of my favorite Jets, to be honest with you. I like Hall. Okay, I like him. I want to keep the nucleus right now. Okay. Now I know yesterday you and Mr. Woody, which I like the what's the word I'm looking for? You guys remind me of the Midnight Express. I like the way you.
Oh wow! Oh, the chemistry. Okay, yeah, sure.
Chemistry. About Garrett Wilson, man, it's very interesting, right? We all know that Garrett Wilson has never had really a true quarterback. right?
That's true. 100%. Yeah.
Who puts up 1,000 yards? But my God, is that where the cap is going now? $30 million a year for a wide receiver?
Well, the highest paid wide receiver right now is 35, and that's about to be 40 because Jamar Chase, the Bengals came out and already said he's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in football, which would put him at least 36 million. But there's whispers it's going to get up to 40. So that's the top. Now,
who's 35? Is that Jefferson from Minnesota?
Correct. Yeah, it's Jefferson at 35 and CeeDee Lamb at 34. Now, you mentioned the truth, which is true. Garrett Wilson's played with 9 or 8 different quarterbacks that's come into the league, not been good. And because of that, perhaps you could blame that. Garrett has not put up the top 5 season. And again, Garrett's put up great numbers for us, the Jets. He has more receiving yards than any Jets receivers ever had in their first 3 years. Yes, that's true. And that's team record breaking. But in terms of the league, the National Football League, he hasn't been putting up 120 catches, 1,500 yards, 1,400 yards, 1,300 yards. He hasn't even put up 1,200 yards. And he hasn't put up double-digit touchdowns. Now, again, Garrett could say, well, my quarterbacks have sucked. But in terms of paying people to get the 40 million, 35 million, normally you got to put up video game numbers, and Garrett has never put up video game numbers.
So think about that, Paul. Think about this. There's been games. I know nobody, there's not a Jet fan that exists that doesn't love Garrett Wilson. We all love Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, he's awesome.
There's been games against physical cornerbacks, but he has been wiped off, but he has had bad games.
Beginning of last season. Yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah, he don't do good against physical corners who jam him at the line. He just does not. He's not a physical receiver. Just said he got to get stronger. Sure. But one thing that was crazy last year, and this blew my mind, it didn't get a lot of hype. Do you remember when they asked Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
And he basically said, all due respect, I'm not Garrett Wilson. That kind of put things in its proper perspective, like, damn, there's me and there's everybody else. So,
yes. It was about, for those who missed it, it was about a team. Hey, man, this is how they defended Garrett Wilson last week. Thoughts? Like, oh, boy, you worried? Like, what's going to be happening? It's like, it kind of was like, I'm not Garrett Wilson, man. I'm Justin Jefferson. And, it's true. He's not Garrett Wilson. He is Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson has been here, and the Jets have been here. So, I mean, hey, man.
And listen, should we get should we go out there and be smart enough to sign him early? Absolutely. I think a decent contract for him would be 4 years, 36, 91, 20, 4 years, maybe 105 million, 110 million, which gives him around 25 to 27.5 million a year, something like that. I know these numbers are crazy. I remember receivers I remember they were crying for 10 million a year. This is crazy. But we got a lot of people to pay. We got a lot of people to pay. Thank God Williams is is locked down. I did want to ask you a draft question. Sure, before the measurements, short arms, this, that, and the other. What you think? Not at 7. But talk to me a little bit. I wish Ricky New York was on here, the draft guru of our Jets chat. What do you think about that offensive lineman from Missouri? A lot of people talking about him.
Armand Membu. Yes.
Dangerous. What do you think about it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Well, I don't want to say a lot of people. I guess we shouldn't generalize. There are some people that are massive fans of his game and think he's going to be a stud at the level. Some other people believe that he might kick into guard. And that's unfortunately the conversation for a lot of these offensive linemen in this particular year. Like Olu Fashanu last year, holy shit, there's your left tackle, true left tackle, unquestioned, he's your guy. A lot of these other top offensive linemen in this class, we were like, tackle, guard, and when you're having those questions, it denigrates the value. And because you're not taking a right guard the same you're taking a left tackle, so that sort of affects some of the value. Connor Rogers said at the Senior Bowl that he wouldn't take a tackle with the Jets at or let me rephrase it. Any tackle the Jets would take at 7 this year would be a reach, was his verbiage of it. But we also had, this is why we have different perspectives. Russell Brown joined us the 1 week that Dom couldn't. I think Dom was traveling to the Senior Bowl. Russell Brown joined us, and he said in his mock, I'm taking Will Campbell. I'm taking the offensive lineman out of LSU. He's going to be one of my top players on the big board. So, there's varying perspectives.
Yeah, he plays too high for me. Like he plays a little high. Athletic. I don't like really his game. But so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last time this happened in a draft? Wasn't it Tristan with the kid out there in Tampa?
Yes.
That they were saying, we don't know.
Guard or tackle. Correct.
Him now.
Now he's a left tackle, so go figure.
And
So,
one of the best in the game.
no doubt.
You know,
Yeah.
More than anything, I know Jet fans don't want to hear this. I want to build the trenches, man. I want to build the trenches. We need defensive line help. Go right. Philly, we could get defensive line help later on in the draft. There's a plethora of solid choices there. Warren at 7. I told you I'm a Warren fan. I would rather trade back in between 10 to 12 or 14.
I agree. Yes.
But I just don't know. And let's be honest, unless somebody slips to us, there's no real definitive number 7 dude there that I'm just like, you got to grab him at 7. Like, who really, right? You could throw in Graham, you could throw in the corner for Michigan, you can throw in Campbell, let's say if he's, but there's really no guy that if he's there at 7 aside from the elites, which is the kid out there.
Abdul Carter with the potential surgery, surgery. Travis Hunter. Those, I guess, would be the 3. Or I guess the crazy quarterbacks, depending on how you feel about them. But everyone has polarizing opinions. But I think it is those 3 that's the, oh my God, can you believe they're here? Of Graham, Hunter, Carter. You're like, I mean, full out sprinting to the podium. The others, there's conversations like Will Johnson on the board. Do we trade back to see if we can get him? Tyler Warner. Oh, do we trade back to see if we can get him? That's a lot of the conversation for a lot of the guys. That is true. That's why
it's interesting. I think to myself, what does Muji, which by the way, I like him, the more and more I hear him speak, let's be honest, we know a lot of intellectual people, they're kind of awkward, right? They're kind of socially awkward. And that's what I get from him. I don't think he's a weird dude. I just think he, his thing ain't, you heard him when they say what you do for fun. I spend time with my family. I work.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
That was funny. Yeah.
I love it.
Because he didn't have he doesn't like golf, like AG. Yeah, I play golf. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, they asked him, well, what's your hobby outside of football? He's like, this is going to sound corny. Football is what I spend my time on. And he's like, and then if I have any free time after that, it's all spent with my kids and my family, which, is nice. That's good to hear. But, right, he's not, he's a different cat.
My thing is, we don't know yet, and I think that's why we all a little antsy. We don't know what AG and Muji really value most. We don't know. But from what I do know, the first person, this is the last thing I say, when the first time Glenn spoke, I remember they made a reference to the talent on our roster compared to the talent of the line. And I remember him basically saying, I forgot how he worded it, but he basically said, have you seen Detroit Lions offensive line? like, have you seen the Lions? So to me, it looks like his focus is going to be, we need to have a powerful, aggressive offensive line that when you line up against them, you say, shit, we're in for a long one. And that's why I feel good about keeping Hall. Let's see what happens with the line. We got a lot of young, he even mentioned Tippmann. We got a lot of young talent on that offensive line. I want to be easy. I'm confident that that's the focus of the draft. Defensive line, offensive line. That's what I'm thinking.
I love it. Yeah, trench warfare, I think, is important for this new regime to highlight. Let's keep going to the phone lines. Hep joined us here on the show. Good morning, Hep.
Hey, Paul. I was just curious. Some of the high ticket items, as far as the NFL players are concerned, I would say wide receiver, quarterback, defensive end, and cornerback. Would you say those are the big price ticket items?
100%. So quarterback, of course, wide receiver. Oh yeah, that's getting up there. Offensive tackle, so left tackle probably is your highest figure. Pass rusher, there's no question. Corner is up there. Yeah, those are all the ones. You hit them all. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going into this. We're going to need a wide receiver. I mean, right? I mean, we're going to get decimated with that, right?
Yeah.
And I do also like Warren too. I mean, even though it's kind of it's kind of weird to get someone that's a tight end at 7. I do like him a little better than Bowers, only because I think he's a better blocker, a little more physical. I think Bowers is more of a glorified wide receiver kind of a player.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, but what do you think? Who do you like coming out of 7?
I've gotten this question a few times, and really, sort of a little bit to what we said with June. If somehow any of the crazy blue chip guys are there, and I think there are 3 that stand out to me, is Abdul Carter, of course. With this latest news, there might be a chance he slips and slides to at some point. So that would be sort of interesting. I love Travis. There's no way he's going to be there, but you have to put him on the list. Travis Hunter is just, I love his answers. I love his swagger. I love his unique ability. That to me is a lot of fun. And then Mason. And again, I get it. There's going to be questions about Mason. He's a sub 300-pound defensive lineman that's got short arms. A lot of people are going to be like, you don't take that kind of player in the top 10 that goes against the physical traits that are supposed to be there for players that you typically take in the top 10. So you really just have to trust your scheme if you're going to be able to take someone like that and that it's going to work out. So those are three for sure that stand out. But to be honest, there's a lot of players you could sell me on with the potential of trading back to get a Tyler Warren. That one to me makes a lot of sense. Again, I know Ricky's been really high on Will Johnson this whole time as a Michigan corner. The more I've been racking my brain around it, I think the Jets are going to go cheaper at corner, and with draft assets and money assets, I think they're going to save them for other positions because we have a lot of positions to fill. So I'm feeling less about the possibility of like a Will Johnson to me. So, yeah, and again, the Ashton Genty thing would be super fun. I mean, that'd probably be super irresponsible, quite frankly, if the Jets did that. But, it's their job to figure that out, not mine. So, like I said, Mason Graham would certainly be up there for me, any of the other blue chip guys. And if they love a quarterback, you could sell me on that.
Well, I was going to say, what if Sanders falls down to 7? Do you take him or not?
I either just tweeted out this clip or I'm going to tweet out this clip. I can't remember if I have or not. I'm doing too much. But Matt Miller joined the Jets combine team and says he believes that Shedeur would be a good fit with the Jets. He thinks he would handle the media really well. Thinks he has the right vibe when you go in the room and you're talking to him about his leadership traits, and he's apparently interviewed very well. I get that a lot of people would be turned off about the Shedeur thing because of the son of a Hall of Famer, whatever additional hoopla is going to come from that. I think Shedeur, man, is a guy that completes a lot of passes and can get the ball from A to B. And while there's concerns, he holds the ball too long and he got sacked a lot at Colorado. That offensive line wasn't great. Yeah, I'd be intrigued by Shedeur. Yeah, right. Yes, 100%. So, but Shedeur would intrigue me greatly.
I'm nervous about the not having the big arm, playing in the Northeast.
Of course. Yeah, that's
a
good point.
But I don't know. It's going to be weird if he lands at 7. Do you think we'll have anybody wanting to come up and get him?
I think so. It will be, for those who have seen the movie Draft Day, I think there will be a little bit of like, first off, why is Shedeur here? Why is he available? Everyone kept saying he was going to go top 3. So him still being on the board at 7 would be interesting. And obviously the Jets, it's sort of J.J. McCarthy last year. J.J. ended up on the board for us, and all of a sudden the Jets said, hey, we're taking calls, baby. And then we Jedi mind tricked Minnesota say, oh, is that Denver on the other line? So it's like, okay, we'll trade up. So, sure, you could probably do that for Shedeur. There's going to be a team that wants Shedeur.
Yeah, I think I will pass on him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a little nervous about him.
That's fair.
Reason. Yeah.
There's reason to be nervous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Paul. I'll see you on the rebound.
Yep. Appreciate it, Hep. Thank you so much for the call. Love it. Yeah. Let's keep rolling here on the phone lines. Let's go over to our boy EZ here on the show. What's up, EZ?
Hey, man, you got me?
Yeah. Loud and clear. Over.
Okay. I think a great scenario for the Jets would be Sanders falls to 7, and then we have a nice trading partner to trade out.
Oh, that'd be great. Sure.
Here's my feelings on Sanders. Nothing personal against the kid. I'm sure he's a nice kid. Dion was a good guy. He was an Hall of Famer. Everything. You got all that stuff. No
sure,
problem.
All that stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
He's got the pedigree. However, if I'm going to take a quarterback in the first round, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to compare him to Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Because that was the blueprint of failure.
Yeah,
and here's what I see with Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
He's got all of Zach's downside and none of Zach's upside. He doesn't have a strong arm. He's not fast. He can't scramble. And at the same time, he takes forever to get rid of the ball, and he's not as accurate as you need him to be. So,
yeah, I would push the accuracy thing is the thing I'd push back on. He had a 74% completion percentage this past year in college, which was awesome. But some of the other criticisms are fair.
Going against absolute nobody defenses.
That's the same criticism of Zach Wilson, that he had a cupcake schedule. So you could criticize the cupcake schedule.
Exactly. That's my point. He's got all of the downside and none of the upside. Like I said, his arm's not as good. He's not as fast. He's not as good a scrambler in the pocket. He takes a lot of sacks. And now you put him from a lower level college situation to the cream of the crop, the NFL. I'm talking, you got, XFL, you got the CFL, and then you have the NFL. There's no, your fourth string player on any NFL roster is better than 95% of any college player Sanders has ever gone up against.
He doesn't pick who he plays against when he was at Jackson State or Colorado, which he played much more better town at Colorado. But
and I understand what you're saying, but when Tom Brady was drafted at number 6, he showed sparks of greatness when he played at Michigan.
Yeah, number 199 in the 6th round.
Right,
yeah.
Right. But the thing was, they were in love with this kid that they had there who was like this blue chip guy. He was like 6, he was like the prototype guy, and they benched Brady. And then what did they have to do? They had to put Brady back in to win anything. So what I'm saying is Brady came out 6th round, but he had all the tools. He had the pedigree. He had the championship, the winner, the whole thing. This kid does not really have any of that. He never went up against the talent.
I'm just a little confused by the Tom Brady. I don't understand. Like, Tom Brady obviously wasn't all that. He fell to the 6th round. He was 199th overall pick. The Patriots passed on him like 20 times. I don't understand the Tom Brady comp.
Because when he was in college, he went up against top flight talent. And even though he was benched, he was never benched because he was bad. He was benched because they were in love with this other guy. It was kind of like, I don't know, this is going way back. The older guys are going to know this. The Pittsburgh Steelers had this kid who was really good. His name was Joe Gilliam.
Okay.
If you ever watched Monday Night Football, Howard Costner, Jefferson Street, Joe Gilliam, he used to love this guy. And Joe Gilliam was a winning quarterback. But they had this golden-haired guy named Terry Bradshaw, and they loved him to death. Now, to Terry's credit, he turned out to be a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
Hall of Famer, of course.
Right. But they benched Joe Gilliam for him when Joe Gilliam wasn't screwing up. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're talking back in the 70s. If you were a black quarterback in the 70s and you got benched, it didn't matter. You were never going anywhere else back in the 70s now because you were a quarterback that got benched. And that's all they needed to use as an excuse to keep him down. Nowadays, that wouldn't happen. They're going to there's so much money in the NFL right now. You got to put the top banana in there. You got to have your best players on the field at all times. But what I'm saying is Brady had never proven not to be a guy when he was in college. He was always just being overlooked because they had, like, rose-colored glasses for this other kid who was like the prototypical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. We're running out of time, so interesting thoughts, Easy. Let me get a few more callers in here real quick before we sign off. Let's go to, we got Chitty Bang here. What's up, pal?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't think first of all, I'll say, I don't think it's fair to compare Shador to Zach Wilson at all. The guy can make an out route. He can make a flat, he can read defenses. But more than anything, I don't think we should draft a quarterback at 7 or in this draft at all. If we don't have Shador or Ken. If we miss out on those two, I don't think we should draft a quarterback this year. Somebody mentioned earlier, Mateer next year or the year after, depending on there's some really good
his status, right? Yeah,
it's some really good quarterbacks coming out of college. You guys just do your research and just like look into what's coming next. I know delayed gratification. We want something hot and sexy now for this next season. And I guess as Jet fans, we've been through so much. We want that now, but if we just patiently just build this roster out this year, let a veteran like Tyrod or somebody take the reins for this 1 year. I think we're going to be paying off in the long run because we don't just need a quarterback. We need the guy. I don't want Jackson Dart. The guy's mechanics are really off. I really don't want to just go out and just draft one just because we need somebody to put in place so the fans are happy. I really just want to wait. There's Drew Allard. There's I am Aleva. He's looking really good too. there's like at least 4 quarterbacks I see coming out of college next year and the year after that look like they're going to be do some work in the NFL. So Mateer, Imaleva, Aller, Manning. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
there's Arch
no.
off the top of my head, and I'm not saying all these guys are going to be great, but you have Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, you have the kid out of Tennessee. I always butcher his name, man. So there's again, it seems that there's this bevy of guys that are set to come out. So
And more than anything, they all got traits, like traits that are not like, oh, they're just, basic. They all have some special traits to them that I think that we should also obviously give them some time. They're very young,
Sure.
but and give them like next season and we'll see how they do because if anything can happen. But I just think long term with the new regime, just rushing to get a new quarterback that's a rookie in here just because we need one
Mm-hmm.
is going to be. I mean, if you want to take one in the 3rd round and beyond, I'm not against that. But second, first round, I don't want to draft one unless it's Cam or Shador, pretty much, and that's where I stand on that.
And I would just say I don't hate that because 7 and 42. And this might sound obvious to people, but it's worth being said. Are starters, man. They're starters on your team. So if you're taking a random dart throw at some guy and you're avoiding filling out key pieces of the roster, 7 and 42 should be pillars of the roster if you're doing your homework right, especially 7. But 42 is that's a almost first round pick. That's early 40s. That's a very high premium pick of a guy that you should be able to plug and play for all these holes, 100%. So I like
I've heard
the take,
I've heard people say we should get a quarterback this year and next year. Meanwhile, you're sacrificing drafting a potential stud player both times. So if you and then on top of that, if you draft a quarterback this year, are you starting him? So if you're not starting him, you're probably not going to draft one next year. Like if you're not starting this quarterback this year that you're drafting this year, then you're not going to just like say, okay, you're not going to know what you have, so you're not going to just draft another quarterback next year. So I just think that we're in a really interesting place when it comes to the quarterback position, and I want to just throw that out there because I'm not hearing people just waiting a little bit, and being patient.
It's a lot of right now, Chitty. Well, I appreciate the call, brother, and I hope you call again in the future, my friend. So, Chitty Bang, baby, dropping some bombs here on the show. Okay, patience is a virtue. Good things come to those who wait. I like a lot of what's being said here. Paul Taxter, real quick, with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. And raffle tickets, Paul, for our giveaway again that's coming tomorrow. Today is the last day to send in those raffle tickets. You just got 5 more, my friend. You doubled your total coming up here on the show. I'm going to there's 2 callers left on the show. I'm going to put you both on because I'm running out of time, so I want to make sure I get to both of you guys here. We've got Johnny Boy, part of the Maniac Madness, and also we've got Joe, Penn State Joe, here on the program from his live studios. First off, hello, Joe. Hello, Johnny.
Morning, Boy Green. Morning, Joe. How are you?
Joe, you're on mute in some. You're not mute on StreamYard, so it must be your mic mute. Yep. Okay, you're still silent. Okay, we'll come back to you, Joe. All right, go ahead, Johnny. What's on your mind?
So, BG, I just wanted to ask you a few things. I was speaking on the Afterburners yesterday with Liam, Dan, and Armand, right? And we brought up a lot of the potential cap casualties that are out there. 2 names that's the right. Detroit Lions linebacker Alex Anzalone.
Oh, right? Yes, he's a big AG guy. Big AG guy.
They're trying to bolster Jack Campbell to go ahead and be the linebacker over there, and he might end up being the cap casualty. Is that a player that could potentially come in, fill in the role for linebacker, and kind of start helping out with building up, the Steve Wilkes defense that they have, the AG defense as well? The other one, the safety out of the Cardinals, Jalen Thompson.
Jalen Thompson. Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, he's another one that's going to be out there. Young guy, really explosive. He's coming. I think like a year ago. Before that, like 4 interceptions and all. He's a ball hawk.
Hey, sounds
guy
good
and
to me.
everything. Yeah. He's out there as a potential thing. Thoughts in regards to that?
Okay.
Right? And then the other question that I did want to ask you.
Yes.
Right. If the Shador stuff that is they're talking about 7th, right? Do you think it's a potential move that maybe with the Cowboys being at 12, they might be the team to go ahead and say, with Sanders, we're bringing him back home. You know what I mean? Let's do that. Or Genty somehow ends up
Yeah.
falling over there. You know what I mean? So I think that's the guys that he wants. That's the potential trade back partner. So I know you got to head out, but I
Yeah.
wanted to throw all of that you real quick.
Yes,
And
I'll
then,
answer all that. I appreciate
Johnny Boy.
Vote for
Make
Johnny.
sure you vote for Johnny Boy.
Yes.
And hey, BG, do your thing, brother. Appreciate
it, Johnny. Yeah, I'll answer all that real quick. If the bleeping Dallas Cowboys draft Shadur Sanders, oh my! I'm telling you, I'm doing that live first round show. I'm gonna fucking fall out of my chair if the Cowboys draft Shadur Sanders. Whether trading up at the Jets, which obviously includes us, or just doing it in general, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna do one of those. Oh my god. The hell that would be oh boy, that would be that'd be intense. So yeah, I would. Yeah, bananas lost, all that jazz. By the way, real quick, Gilbert Gonzalez here with a YouTube super chat. You now have a raffle ticket, Gilbert. Thank you for getting that in before the end of the show. You do have a raffle ticket for a giveaway tomorrow. Salute.
Wow.
Thank you, Gilbert. Okay, let's try to see if we can do this again to wrap up here. Let's get to Joe here on the show real quick. What's up, Joe?
Hey, is that better?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we got you now.
The mic was actually not plugged in. I will thank my daughters for that.
Okay. Well, now I have the same thing with my kids when they're coming up over here, and I'm not figuring things out. It's whatever the kids did. So I appreciate that. Yeah, Joe, finish us off. What's on your mind?
Yeah, no, just a couple things on Tyler Warren. Not sure why he's not running or
Okay, I didn't see that either, so I
he's
wasn't
not injured. I know that it could just be a
Okay.
risk management thing. He wants to do everything back in Happy Valley. We've seen that before with some of our players specifically. But I did just watch a 4-minute interview he did with Connor Rogers yesterday, which was really cool.
Oh, awesome. I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, it's on NBC Sports' YouTube page.
Perfect.
And he references the safety on Penn State who's coming out named Kevin Winston. There's actually 2 safeties in the draft. But Winston was a guy who was projected to be a first-round pick this year. He got hurt in like the second game, I think, and didn't play the rest of the season. But he'll be performing. I guess the safeties are today, right?
Correct. Yeah, we have defensive backs and tight ends, I believe, are both today.
Yeah, what I've seen is that he's going to be running as well as Jalen Reed. Those are 2 guys that I think, 1, fit needs that we have, and 2, specifically with Winston, because of the injury, he may drop a little bit. So he might be a steal in a later round, similar to like a Jaquan Brisker for the Bears a couple of years ago. I was banging the drum for us to draft him, and that didn't happen. That's really all I got for you today. And I was curious, though, and I didn't get to watch the beginning of the show. What was Aaron Glenn putting Tyrod on notice?
So what I assumed, so let me start off with this. I assumed when that question inevitably came up, is it probable that Tyrod Taylor is going to be your starting quarterback? I thought AG was going to say, basically, he's the best quarterback on the roster right now. Yes, Tyrod Taylor, as far as today he's going to be the starter.
Right.
And AG, when asked that question, went, whoa, let's not put the cart before the horse. I'm paraphrasing, but like, geez, whoa, we got the draft, we got free agency, we got a long offseason, boys. Tyrod's okay, but we got a long offseason, boys. And I was just like, wow, okay. Move over Tyrod Taylor. It sounds like we're getting a guy. So I thought he was going to, long story short, have a little bit more investment. I know he wasn't here when he was signed, but a little bit more commitment is probably the better word to Tyrod as a guy until we're not asking if AG would have said that. If he would have went to the podium and said, yeah, Tyrod's my guy, and then next week they trade for Matt Stafford, I wouldn't go, oh, AG, what a fucking liar. Look at this guy. No, today Tyrod was the starter. Tomorrow he just traded for Matthew Stafford. The picture changed from today to tomorrow. So the lack of commitment initially to me was a little odd, interesting, and that's what Connor Hughes said too. So if I was the only one, then maybe I was off base, but I heard Connor Hughes basically had the same ticket. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So more people were kind of like turned their head sideways at the comment, so it's interesting.
That's what I thought you were referencing. I just wasn't sure if there was something that came after the fact.
Yeah.
And 2 callers ago, I think the name was Chitty something.
Yeah, Chitty Bang. That's the first time I've ever had Chitty on the show.
Well, I thought he had some really good points around, we don't need to reach for a quarterback. I actually don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft.
There you go.
And again, I know nothing, right? But if it was me, I'm drafting a position in need. Of course, I'm going to yell Tyler Warren. Actually, if it was me, I'm trading up and taking Abdul Carter. He is by far the best player in the draft.
Slips and people are giving, I agree with you. If he slips and people are giving the I don't know about Abdul, I'm like, I know about Abdul. Yes.
If he
So
hits
if that's
3,
possible, yeah.
I'm giving everything I can to move up and just figuring it out. That being said, if he doesn't, Mason Graham, I don't care about his measurements yesterday. He's a player. You just got to trust the film. Tyler Warren, obviously, I love. And I would just take it from there and, either sign Fields or, Darnold's the pipe dream. I just don't know that he wants to come here.
100% fair. We don't know that. We don't know that. But Penn State Joe, I want to thank you. We have to get off the show, but thank you guys so much. To the 700 people in the room, like the video, hit subscribe. To the people that watch after the fact, I appreciate the hell out of you. We'll see if we're doing another show again. Jake's at the Combine, so we'll see if me and Jake are doing our show later. If not, today is the last day for your raffle ticket. So if you guys are paying attention, purchase your super chats and also purchase specifically your memberships, because every membership is a raffle ticket for a giveaway tomorrow. At the end of business tonight, 11:59 today, later today, is the last chance you guys can get a ticket in. Is today on Friday. We'll be announcing the winner tomorrow morning live on the show. We'll see you guys then, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. God bless. Take care. And